Well, here we are, the Benton-N.GA Trail. You know, for years I pronounced it Benton-N.GA because that's how it's spelled, and someone corrected me recently and told me it's Mackay. Who knew? But anyway, I am at one of the forest roads that intersect with it, and I'm going to spend at least one night testing the gear, preferably two. The weather's supposed to be good, and I'd like to do my first shakedown hikes in good weather. Then I'll test it in rainy weather, but it's supposed to be in the 50s during the day and the 30s at night, so it's still gonna be cold nights and chilly mornings, but not 5 degrees or anything like that. So finally just found my first marker, and here we go. We've got gonna decide, either gonna go 8 miles to a tent site or go 12 miles to the one after that. We'll see how it feels. So here we go. Where's my little man at? Oops. Hey buddy, you ready to go? Yeah. Alright, let's do it. Decided to walk the other direction for just a little bit to come to the suspension bridge over the Toccoa River. I've seen lots of pictures of this, but I've never actually been here. So decided to come this way, take some pictures of the bridge, and then I'm gonna go back the way I originally intended. Well, that didn't take long to get hot. It was only like 33 when I started degrees out, but it is sunny. It's warming up. It's now late morning, and I've gone, actually not even quite gone, a mile and a half. It was 0.6 miles round trip to go over to the bridge and back, and I'm not quite a mile past that yet, but I was hot, so we stopped. The little man's doing well. Yeah, the little man's keeping pace ahead of me. Huh. Mommy, let's get going. It's cold when we stop. So I think I'm just gonna make it to the 8-mile tent site tonight. A little concerned. My pack hurts. I really hope I just have it adjusted wrong. I have it fully loaded, water, food, just like I did the other day. I did put a few other additional items in it, not a lot, but it's really hurting my shoulder today. So hopefully I can just adjust it. I'm going to play around with it a little bit right now, and that's all the problem is. I really hope I don't have the wrong pack. I don't have it, I mean, it's full, but it's not like overloaded. I don't know. We'll figure it out, buddy. Alright, here you go. Oh man. Alright, let's go. Took a quick little water break. Getting some views. Been going up, 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 up. You can see some views through the trees. Yay. Oh, nope, we're not turning around, buddy. No, we're not turning around. Keep going. You were covered in leaves. Yes, you were covered in leaves, you crazy little man. Come on, let's go. Go. Come on. Hurry up. There you go. Good boy. Well, that was kind of interesting. I guess I knew it from looking at the map, but we had to walk back on the trail, kind of skirting around alongside the forest road that we took to get to where we parked. So I just crossed the road that I took to get here, where I turned off onto the forest road. So I don't know, it was just kind of weird. Debbie's doing good. Hey, buddy. He's like, come on, Mommy, let's go. Why do you keep stopping? Huh? You want to go? So here we are. This little intersection, right around there, a little bit before that one, I got about 4 miles to go, is the campsite that we're getting to. Ooh, dark eyes today. Alright, and we get to cross over a little bridge. So, let's do it! Taking a breather. This last mile has been all uphill. Apparently there's a better scenic outcropping a little bit further up, but I gotta keep going up. That's the trail right there, going up. Then I go down from that. Then I go up again. Then I go down to my campsite. 3 more miles. Taking a breather though. Hi. Well, I'm in the tent. I got to the campsite and got my tent set up and realized I was gonna set my camera up on the tripod to have me setting up camp, and totally forgot until I picked up my camera to bring it in here. So sorry about that. If I do an overnight tomorrow night as well, then I will do it tomorrow night. Sorry, but I'll try to set up in the morning. But I'm trying to get organized in the tent, and got my sleep pad, my quilt, here's my pillow, Zobi's sleep pad, although he's probably going to end up on here with me because he is already curled up. He was shivering, poor little guy. I have his down out and my down out because it is supposed to get into the 30s tonight. And I just threw the fleece liner I have on over my legs. I have my down booties on from Enlightened Equipment. Changed into my 250 merino wool. And now I am starting to go through my food bag to decide what to make for dinner. I brought all dehydrated meals because I bought a whole bunch of them to test. So I'll send them to me in resupply boxes, probably vegan ones that I may not be able to find elsewhere. So I'm shivering. I may put my down on now, actually. But I'm afraid if I do it now, I'll get even colder later. I don't know. Maybe I just need to eat. Okay. I just want to say the hike was like all uphill, I swear. I'll see if I can find the elevation. It was like a roller coaster with most of it being uphill. And the last half mile sucked. I just was done. The pack is heavy and I'm not used to it. Did 8.6 miles and it felt like 20. Seriously. Gosh, it's gonna take some getting used to, and I may have to, this is what Shakedown's for, I may have to bite the bullet and get rid of some things that I am like packing my fears on or something to try to lighten it a bit. I did have it full with, I actually had 3 liters of water because I'm on the Benton Mackay Trail, whatever. Doesn't have a whole lot of water sources, so I was a little worried I'd get really thirsty and not have water, but I was fine. So anyway, yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Here's what we're having for dinner. This is vegan. I found this at Sierra out west and would like to order more if I like it. This is actually not vegan, but it sounds delicious. So I'm gonna get a lot of protein, 21 grams and 14 grams and a lot of calories too. But honestly, I probably didn't eat enough today, which may have been part of the reason why I was struggling. I am flippin' starving. Little man just ate, in the tent, but he was starving, so he's a happy boy. You've got some on your face, little man. Good morning. Good morning, I think. Little man. Yeah. It was cold. It was very cold last night. I do get service at my campsite here at the mountain we're on, and it got down to 23 last night, so it was cold and I was miserable. I shivered a lot last night. Little man got cold even in his sleeping bag, so I brought him into my sleeping bag with me. As you can see, he's all curled up with me in my sleeping bag, but then he got hot and was panting really hard, so I put him back in his sleeping bag and put him back out. I have this pad beside my pad that I put his sleeping bag on, and he was fine for a while, and we both actually slept for, I don't know, maybe like an hour actually. And then I woke up to him trying to climb back up in his sleeping bag, trying to climb back up onto mine. So a lot of trying to figure out how to get situated with him so that he could get enough air that he wasn't too hot, but that air wasn't making me too cold and then I couldn't sleep. So yeah. And then the other thing is I have the Enlightened Equipment's Enigma. And that means it has these like holes in the back of it. I'll try to record it later when I'm like packing up the tent. But you're supposed to keep the holes like on the back side of you, underneath you, but it makes it a quilt so it can, let air flow through. So, most nights that's not going to be a problem, but on cold nights that's definitely a problem. Even my liner, I have a fleece liner, just did not keep me warm last night. So I mean, I slept, but not very well, and not for very much, not very long. I got my best sleep this morning, like early morning, from probably like 6 to, I don't know, it's about 8:30 right now, I think. So, I know I can't do that every morning. I don't know, it might even be closer to 9 now. I know I can't do that every morning, so. Anyway, gonna go potty and make breakfast and break camp. Yeah, I'm not really loving this right now at all. Good morning again. Okay, so I just did a few little morning chores, started packing up camp a little bit to try to get warm because it is chilly. It's not cold, like there's not frost, thankfully, but it is definitely chilly. So I'm going to make breakfast now. Wow, I'm still like a mess from sleeping. But I'm going to try to make breakfast now and finish packing up camp. I am at a campsite. I actually stopped at a campsite that was just a smidge before the one I was gonna stop at because it was at the top of a mountain and I liked it and thought I'd watch sunrise and sunset. But I was cold and tired and I didn't do either. So yeah, I also wanted to show, this is what I wore to sleep in. I have, this is a polar buff. I wore my Smart Wool mittens. This is a E.E. Down hoodie. Underneath the hoodie, I have on a fleece and 250 merino wool. I have on 250 merino wool pants, 2 pairs of socks, and the E.E. is Enlightened Equipment down booties. I will say in the very beginning, when I was first getting changed and then trying to get warm, all curled up in the sleeping bag, even with the 2 pairs of socks and the down booties, my toes were freezing. I was about ready to go get toe warmers out of my bag, which I would probably do first thing now on a night where it's going to get into the 20s. But eventually they did get warm in the footbed of the Enlightened Equipment sleeping bag. And now my hands are cold because I took my gloves off, so going to make breakfast. Hi. Okay, so Zoe had his breakfast, and he, for some reason, whenever he eats, I don't know what it is with dogs, I've noticed this with him, like when they eat, their temperature drops. I don't know what it is, but he always is cold after he eats. So especially on a cold morning like this, he's shivering right now. So have him in my lap trying to get him warmed up. And I'm making my coffee, as you just saw. And yes, I was so flippin' hungry and my energy was so drained last night. I thought for sure I would like kill that chili and the mousse. By the time I ate the chili and started on the mousse, I was full. Like putting food in my mouth made me want to throw up type of full. And I've heard that with backpacking, I mean, like I've backpacked in before, but never with that much weight. Never doing everything completely on my own. Always had shared responsibilities at camp and stuff. So I've heard that like the first like even like 2 weeks that hikers don't eat enough because like for whatever reason like you're depleted and you're just not hungry, so you don't eat, and then hiker hunger hits and you can't eat enough. And I think that definitely hit yesterday because I know I didn't eat very much on the trail at all, and I didn't have a very big breakfast, so for the amount of calories I burned, I didn't have that in me yesterday, so I should have eaten more, but I just couldn't. So this chocolate mousse I made last night, I only had a few bites of. I was like, I'll have it for breakfast. Well, it's been a minute since I've had these like mountain house meals. They get very runny if you let them sit overnight, especially something like that that's a dessert. So I'm basically going to be drinking my breakfast. I already have drank a little bit of it. I actually considered adding it to my coffee, which might have been good, but anyway, so this is breakfast. Zoe has had his. I'll get him all warmed up again. Break camp and call it a morning. Get on the trail. Oh, I don't think I said this earlier. I was going to do possibly 2 nights, and I probably would have, as miserable as last night was, but the next camp is only like 4 or 5 miles away, so it would have been a much shorter hike today, and I'm not going to go on to the one after that. That would be like a 15-mile hike. So I was going to do that today, but I got a message from my RV guy that the shipping looks like it should be in today for my heat, which means I need to go back tonight so that he can come tomorrow morning and give me heat, which means, yes, one more cold night in the RV, but cold night in the RV is still at least more comfortable, maybe a little bit warmer, but at least a little bit more comfortable than last night was. But definitely need to do some more overnights out here because I got to figure out how to get comfortable, because that's not going to work for 2,200 miles. My goodness, look at my mess. My mess. I got to repack everything. Literally almost everything is out of my bag, well, out of the inside of my bag. Zobe's in that green fluff there. That's his sleeping bag. He's all curled up in. I need to finish packing the rest of his stuff. My thermarest, when I pulled it out, was a little damp. It's starting to dry. Was a little damp underneath, probably from condensation in here. Did not have a lot of condensation in here last night though, at all. Like it didn't start dripping on me, even though it got down into the 20s. So look how dirty it is just from one night. My goodness. But it is a little damp where the thermarest was, so I'm letting both of theirs air out a bit while I get all my crap put away. Oh, gosh. Hi. I've not looked in a mirror or anything this morning. So I started out yesterday with almost 3. My bladder holds 2 liters, and then I have a, 500 milliliter, 700 milliliter life water bottle. And this wasn't completely full, and neither was my bladder. Between the 2 of those, that's about 3 liters. So I probably had about 2 3/4 liters yesterday, which is going to be over 6 pounds of water, just in water. Because looking at the section of the trail that I was doing, there weren't a lot of water sources. So I packed a lot of water. Well, there were more water sources than the map said there were. Now this particular campsite that I'm at, I have to go like 3/10 of a mile to get water, which is going to be over a half-mile round trip, and in the wrong direction, and I'm going to cross water probably about a mile down this way. I have a little bit of water left, so I'll be fine. I'm not going to bother getting water before I break camp. But most days I will not be starting with that much water, and that's, you know, several pounds off of my back. So I did realize that this morning. And then of course I started with a lot of food. I packed 4 to 5 days of food just to feel what that weight would be like, because that's the most I'd ever need. And most days I'm not going to have that much. And I think I did overpack the food a little bit too. So I can tell already I've probably lost like maybe 1.5 pounds in food alone. So that's going to be several pounds of difference just from last night to this morning between the water and the food. There's a few things as I'm going through my head what I have packed that I could potentially ditch for good or have sent to me later if I need it. But yeah, I think this is pretty close to what my pack weight is gonna be, which my shoulders are sore this morning. I don't know, do we get shoulder like we get trail legs? Do we get our trail shoulders or hiker legs, hiker shoulders? I hope so. Hope this gets better, because yeah, that sucked. But alrighty, gonna get packed up and I'll set it up, tearing down the tent and get on the road. Somehow it is all back in there except for my tent, and then my camp shoes clip onto the back, put my boots and gaiters back on. Zoe's like, "Mommy, can we go yet?" Hey, hi. Hi, here we are, all packed up, ready to go. Definitely feels lighter, but I do need to stop and get a liter of water. I'm just gonna fill the life water bottle today. And Zoe, little man here, hey buddy. Sorry for the crazy angles when I tried to get him on the screen. He's ready to go. So I got out of my tent at 9:15. It is 11:30. So I definitely have to get faster at this, but considering I was taking my time, I wasn't in any rush. It was a cold morning, I didn't want to get out of my tent, and I stopped to take a bunch of videos. Not too bad. I'll get faster at it as I get more practice. And obviously in the summer, and as the days get longer, I'll be getting up earlier, and I will have been on the trail well before 11:30. So but today I just have the 8-mile hike back to my car, and hopefully RV guy comes in the morning, and then I'll do another Shakedown hike this weekend. Might have a friend join me, and then definitely next week. Okay, here we go. Bye. Hey, so we are about 4 miles into today's hike back to the car. We are at the road crossing where there's this bridge we went over yesterday and this lovely stream here. And so I am going to stop and get water. There was a water crossing, a little, like, tiny little, you know, one of those trickling kind of baby mountain streams, you can't even really call it that, just a trickle of water that goes down the mountain that we passed earlier. Sorry, loud car going by. That was where I was going to get water, but I was feeling good and didn't really need it yet, so decided to wait until we got to this stream. So gone 4 miles without a water break, but I'm okay. So I'm going to get it now, get some for him as well, and then hike the remaining 4 miles back to the car. Okay, back at the car. Done. Oh, you gonna come over here? Hi, baby. You want to say hi to everybody again? Say hi. I hiked the whole way back. Didn't carry him at all yesterday or today. Had enough on my back with the pack. Definitely was better today with less water and food. Only did that one water crossing refill there, which is about over half gone now. We've drank. And yeah, not too bad. Oh, baby, he was all curled up on me here. Definitely nice and warm in the sun now. I'm, sweating. 150 merino layer was all I needed for sure today. It was cool in the breeze and in the shade, but in the sun it was warm. So, gonna look through some things in my pack, see what I might be able to get rid of here or there. Definitely gonna try to pack less food. I think especially in the beginning, I was packing at least enough for 2 meals a day for 5 days, or potentially like 3 meals a day for like 4 to 5 days, and snacks. And then food for him too. So that was a lot of food. And I don't think I need that much, at least not in the beginning. And I'm never gonna need more than that anyway. And like I said, like yesterday I did the 3 liters, almost 3, probably like, 2 3/4 liters of water, and that's a lot of pounds of water that I don't need to be carrying. So that'll help. Maybe get rid of a few things here or there, and that'll help. Going to think through the sleep system a little bit. I was thinking about it as I was hiking back, and most nights are not going to be in the low 20s like last night. And Zobi will be totally fine sleeping on his own, either in his sleeping bag or on top of his sleeping bag, with or without a sweater or other layer over him or whatever. And so I'm not going to be doing like I did last night, where I had to like bring him in and then take him out of his sleeping bag, but have him in here with me, and then try to figure out, air for him to get in and breathability and cooling him off. But, I was cold then, and like, that's not going to happen most nights. That's only going to happen on the coldest nights, and I'll have to try to figure something out for that. So my Enigma, my Enlightened Equipment Enigma, with those the way that it's designed, with kind of what creates holes so that it can split open and be a quilt or be closed as a sleeping bag. But when it's closed as a sleeping bag, there's just like these straps across the opening, that there's like holes between the straps then, and those holes were what air was getting in last night, and I was cold. When I was able to situate the sleeping bag so that part of it was under me, I was totally fine. And especially when he was in this bag with me, creating a little bit more body heat, and even like him breathing and panting when he was hot was making it warmer in there, and I was fine. So I think I would be okay for the most part, like when I'm able to have that part underneath me, and I'm not like so concerned about him where I'm moving around so much with pulling him in and taking him, taking him out, pulling him in, and trying to arrange things. It was a cluster of a night with getting used to a lot of new things. My bigger concern actually are my hips. I'm a side sleeper, and I had a lot of trouble, and I always do. I have trouble sleeping on air mattresses as a side sleeper. Like, it just doesn't support your hips very well. So I think I'm just gonna have to try to figure out how to get a little bit more used to sleeping on my back or my stomach, especially when he's not in the bag with me, which again will be most nights. Especially as we get into the summer and warmer nights. He's not, I mean, he'll sleep just like on top of his sleeping bag as padding and be fine. So I think it'll be okay. It's just gonna be these cold nights. And also on cold nights, I did have hand warmers and toe warmers in my bag that I didn't pull out. I didn't think I was gonna need them, because to me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need those on nights where it's like, below 20 degrees or something. But yeah, I'm gonna pull those out and use them from the get-go on nights. Like, I don't need to lay there shivering, just use them, right? So that's my recap on the first Shakedown. Heavy pack, but I'm going to try to lighten it a bit. Learned a few things. Liked my cook system. I like my stove. Works well. I like my layering, like the clothes. Everything's working well there. Just, figuring out a few things. I like the tent. Didn't have condensation or dripping problems. Of course, it didn't rain, so still need to test it in like wind and rain. But yeah, so that was a good first Shakedown. We'll see how the next one goes. Thanks for watching. Bye.